us. How to practice and control your mind. What are the how to practice? Anam is one main thing to we try to. That every how is sadhaka. How do we control mind to stabilize on for the remembrance of God? One is our daily routine activities. How to bring godliness into our daily activities.
While we handle any problem at home or in the office or with friends, we are there separate from the problem, so we can handle. When we are talking about how to handle the mind, only with the mind we can handle the mind. That's the biggest problem. So unless and until some disciplines are imposed on us, by which the mind is trained to go deeper, to go beyond, it is very difficult, very difficult. So Ramnam helps in what way? There are so many methods. One is that we want to keep all other thoughts away. For that we need one thought, that is Ramnam. When we concentrate on the sound of the name, even if it's for 1 second, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we are free from other thoughts. That is one method. And then what happens? We have to see for ourselves, not by learning like this. We start doing, so we keep chanting in any tune that is okay for us. And then what is happening in us? When we concentrate on the sound, oh, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. That means you want to hear your own chanting. See for yourself what is happening. Oh, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. What happens then? Well, we keep on trying. When we concentrate on the sound, when we attune ourselves with the raga, unknowingly all other thoughts will not be there. But that means with one thought, after 2 minutes, 3 minutes or 4 minutes, the mind will again, it will be chanting, it will also be going. At that time, immediately we stop. We open the eye, again restart. When we are in a congregational meet, all these things are not possible. Let it go. I will charm it again. That's all right. But individually you have to practice. That is what we feel to control the mind. That means the mind is slowly coming to our grips with one thought called the mind and Ramnam. And then as we keep on progressing, we will be able to enjoy the experience that this Nama chanting gives us. Actually, the enjoyment is that it is making us free from all the thoughts. 14 thoughts. And then next stage, please mute down. And most important thing, what we find, unless and until our non-chanting time is used in such a way that it is sattvic, it will be difficult. We are allowing the mind to work in any manner during, say, suppose we have got 16 hours of waking state, and 14 and a half hours we are allowing the mind to work, to go in as it likes. And half an hour you are sitting before your puja room and trying to control it. Difficult. So initially we will set apart half an hour, 10 minutes or 15 minutes before we go to the office. After bath, getting dressed, we go to the puja room, sit there. We have our own some discipline, some slokas, some nama, and we prostrate, we come out. Okay, perfectly all right. But will it help us to control the mind? Each one has to try. What Papa advises is, even during the non-chanting time, if we are trying to remember the ideal for which this nama is chanted, that is why he used the word, even the period ever so small. That means every now and then we insert this in the form of Brahmana. Every now and then. Nobody need know. It can be mental. Suppose we are going to the our car is there. We are going there. You will get 1 second or 2 seconds, Brahmana. Then you open the door, sit there, start. While you are going, you are all seeing, you are alert, everything is there. You stop the vehicle, you take your bag and go to the office. One gap will be there. Even during our deliberations in the office, we may get some moments. This has to be tried. This has to be tried whether it is practically possible for me or not. And those who are involved in household matters, they will get some more time more than that. So this has to be tried. And each one's Ramnam chanting also should be unique. You cannot follow what somebody says. That is for when you are in a group, okay, because one has to follow somebody. Otherwise, method of chanting to be based upon one's own svabhava and limitation. So when all these things will come only when we are intense. In a lukewarm devotion, it is difficult. In lukewarm devotion, this is all right. Whatever we are doing, it gives us some joy. All of us are leading a righteous life, simple life, and lukewarm, I get. But when it becomes intense, come what may, I must. Apathan idellam, ultimately academic, we will hear and we will just go. So it depends upon that. So in a way we can try this. How to make it intense, that's another question. Because the truth is, we want to become intense. Otherwise, we will not be attending all these programs. There is somewhere in the mind it is there. But at the same time, the mind has not been trained, or it has got its own justification. How do I do that? In my professional life, it is very difficult. It is not difficult. In my household activities, it is difficult. Not difficult. On the question, we have to keep on asking ourselves. And we will find some answers. And some values will be. How do we know that we are remembering him? Through values, through values. You will not compromise. No, I will not do that. We will be sincere, honest, loyalty will be there, efficiency will be there. Actually, nobody can say that mind can be controlled like this, like that. Each one has to try in their own way. And Ramnam is the tool through which we can do, because we people, we have been associating with ashram for the past so many decades. We are convinced that Ramnam is something, but I don't know how to use the Ramnam. Thing is, we are all doing Ramnam, but we don't know how to make it move towards the ultimate. When we keep on trying, trial and error method is the only way for mental chanting. Then going to a retreat like this, and where you are relatively free from your routine thoughts, routine challenges, routine commitments. There you will find more time. Mind will take to something else, but there we will try to insert this as much as possible. And one book, one sloga, contemplation. Today morning we were reading in Malayalam, for the sake of you. None of you may know Malayalam, but this is a sloga by the great Jagadguru Narayana Guru Swami of Kerala. I will read it out. Even hearing itself is a grace. അറിവിലും ഏറി അറിഞ്ഞിടുന്നവൻ തൻ ഉരുവിലും ഒത്തു പുറത്തും ഉജ്ജ്വലിക്കും കരുവിനു കണ്ണുകൾ അഞ്ചും ഉള്ളടക്കി തെരുതെരെ വീണു വണങ്ങി യോതിരേണം. It is very difficult to translate, but some effort has been made. A person who is watchful, now you are hearing, we are talking. The awareness that the talking is going on. Talking or any knowledge. The awareness that illumines the knowledge. You become aware of the knowledge. Person who has got some taste in it. You are now hearing. The power behind the hearing. Such a person, he has to keep on. Something is there in me, in my body. That is why I am hearing, And so many things are going on outside. The sun does its job regularly. The air does its job regularly. The water, the space, the earth. Like that, so many things are going on now. So some power is there, not only that makes me alive today and makes me feel I am, and the same power is presiding over all these activities, multivarious activities, uruvilum ottum purathum. That power, to go to that power, kannugal anjum ulladakki, all the five outgoing tendencies of the organs, it should be brought back. And then what do you do? Teru tere veenu vanangi yodirenam. Teru tere, you have to keep on trying. Not once. I had a glimpse. No. Because he is there with us, even in this journey. In the journey to find him also, he is there, Not only that after the journey we will reach, no. That is the beauty of this. Even to chant Ramnam, we need him. We say we are chanting to remember him. But even to chant, he should be there with us. A dead body cannot do that. Mouth will be there, mouth will not. So the enlivening principle, or what you call it, it's very difficult to explain. It is subtle and mysterious. So we should develop some method by which, we try to watch the hearing now. Watch the sitting now. Watch the hearing. Watch the seeing. Watch the sitting. I can see my body. Yeah. So I can't be the body. The seer of the body must be different from the body. Oh. I can understand these thoughts. I cannot be the thoughts. But we should be careful. The thought should not say this. So the awareness, it is there. So like that, we have to try to go inward. The moment any slight hole is there, it will go out. We are talking about mind control. Right from the childhood, we have been training our mind to go out. Everything. Even under the banner of spirituality or bhakti, it's out, out, out. So you one fine morning to ask the mind to keep quiet, very difficult. So each one has to devise some method. In Wayanad, when we were in Wayanad, in good old days, very chill, About 5 to 6 months it will be always raining. Very few vehicles are there, but tractors, lorries will be there to transport. So early morning the jeep will be there. Sometimes, the jeep will not get started. So we push the then it gets started. That method probably we have to use it. Something like, is the moment the mind goes out, okay, that is also God, So try to bring him back like that. And to control it here and then to project it may be a tough job unless you are firm in your commitment. Firm in your commitment. Any method. Of late I used to think, I don't know whether I'm right or wrong. People who go to ashram or who are staying in the ashram, they have got a fixed time. Unknowingly, there is a division between spiritual practice and the non-spiritual, we name it as non-spiritual practice. So long as it is there, we will not be able to have it. You have to demolish that. Similarly, those who are visiting devotees, when they are in ashram, they attend program and then go back, finished. Unless it becomes a part of our, that is what Mataji said, it's a school. Because when you go to a school, you try to learn something. It is not the school structure or the teachers that you are trying to understand. Through the structure, through the teachers, through the text, you are trying to learn something, and which is tested in the examination, where you don't have any text there, you don't have any teacher there, you don't know the questions there. So what has been assimilated by you, what has been absorbed by you during the classes, it should come out in your own form. That is the test by which your progress is evaluated. So when Mataji said this is a school, so we are coming there, we are attending some programs. It might be Ramnam chanting, bhajan, pradakshina, satsang, reading. And then every day, suppose we sit and try, if we don't try to understand, like homework in the school, they give, morning they have taken the class, they give you the homework. And in the evening you have to do it by yourself. Similarly, if we don't develop the attitude of developing it, unknowingly we are limiting our so-called labeled spiritual activities to a particular time, in a particular place. Bhajan hall, Samadhi Mandir, Centenary Hall. Then after that you are back to square one, no? I think that could be probably one of the greatest hurdle all of us are facing. separating. So, and when we have been hearing Papa's words, that everything is his. Your non-chanting and chanting is both. In one of his quotations, he has bluntly said, you must have the same joy in chanting and non-chanting time. The joy that you say you derive during the chanting, it should be there during the non-chanting time. Glimpses left. I don't know the mechanism to show this. For a minute, Bone? Sundar? അതല്ല അത് അവന് தெரியாது എഫ് Yeah, in the portion, I want everybody to see. Control C. Document of content. Control N of one. Control now P. V. Mini poetry. Window. Copy there you go. Can you see? Everybody can see that?
No, Swami. Swami. No, Swami. No, Swami.
Yes, sir. I'll make it a little more.
Yes, Swami.
Papa here says, the question raised is how to control the mind. We are all chanting Ram Nam, we enjoy, but still we think mind is not under control, it goes. It is very difficult to get an answer from an outside agency. We have to definitely develop, but some clues. Divine, Papa says, divine name is a ladder. No? I'll finish. Divine name is a ladder by the help of which you ascend to the supreme zenith of the above described state. Divine name is a ladder by the help of which you ascend to the supreme zenith of the above described state. When through the repetition of the name, the mind gets dissolved in the ocean of stillness and peace within you, repetition of the name is no longer necessary. When through, so this is the point on which everyone should think, whether the name is taking me to dissolve. When through the repetition of the name, the mind gets dissolved in the ocean of stillness and peace within you, that means the name, Nama chanting will stop. You have to continue. Of course, off and on you can drink the nectar of the charming music of the name, but do not depend entirely upon this music for your peace and bliss. Because no joy which is conditioned and dependent can be permanent. So that means, even chanting and non-chanting time, He is with us. If we are only trying to understand Him only during the chanting time, there will be a gap in the non-chanting time. That's what He meant. Even behind the chanting time and the non-chanting time, He is there, but through chanting we are trying to feel His presence. That is why he said the chanting should ultimately result in dissolving. Even after one chanting, suppose we feel the silence, inner silence. When through the repetition of the name, the mind gets dissolved in the ocean of stillness and peace within you, repetition of the name is no longer necessary. Of course, off and on, you can drink the nectar of the charming music of the name, but do not depend entirely upon this music for your peace and bliss, because no joy which is conditioned and dependent can be permanent. Through the power of the name, let the bliss of the eternal Atman, through the power of the name, let the bliss of the eternal Atman, which is self-existent and independent, reveal itself within you, so that you can experience it at all times and in all states. It may not be very clear just by reading. அந்த ஹாப்பினஸ் இருக்கு நம்மகிட்ட, ஃபுல்னஸ் இருக்கு, கண்டென்ட்மெண்ட் இருக்கு. பட் நம்ம இப்படிலாம் செய்தா தான் அது வரும்னு நினைக்கிறோம். அப்படியும் அல்ல. அப்படி ட்ரை பண்ணணும். அது வந்துட்டு இல்லாத சமயத்திலே முண்ட சமயத்திலே அது இருக்குன்னு புரியுமே நமக்கு. That is why when Shuddhananda Swamiji as a boy asked Papa, what is your will now? Immediately he could say, Ramdas will get up now, go to the carpenter shed, supervise, come back, sit in the Panchavadi, wait for the evening mail. And then again Shuddhananda child asked, then God's will. So that means everything that is happening. So it is not limited to, this is very important, it's a good question. It is very important that probably our progress, we feel that our progress is not there much, because we unknowingly, we have compartmentalized remembering God to a particular time, place, discipline, whereas He is with us always. This is a wonderful portion of in the glimpses of divine vision. Because otherwise, we have been struggling. Why is it that I have not been able to enjoy what he enjoyed? Then suddenly he says, in your mind, you have colorized certain activities that are helping you to remember God. Colorized certain activities that are making you unaware of God. Whereas He is there, He has been there always. So with the help of Ramana, we try to find out that truth, to realize that He is there whether we are chanting Ramana or not. It's difficult to understand. With the help of Ramana, we are trying to understand the reality which has been there even while not chanting Ramana. Now and here.
Swamiji, some people may not use the method of Ramnam to control the mind. Even in them, they will be able to see the presence of God, right?
No, we are not talking about them.
Oh.
God will give them some other guidance. Those who are wedded to this Ramnam chanting, they may find, even after doing for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, why is it that I don't feel the sweetness, or why is it that I don't feel that God is within me? Why do I still feel that I have to struggle to know Him, to remember Him? To them, Papa has given this. This need not be the universal answer. Many people may have different routes. Because we are holding on to Ramnam, we are trying to get the maximum benefit out of it. So it doesn't mean there are no other. For them, it is all right. Whatever God prompts them, they will take it. They will do it. We have seen many people, they may not be chanting Ramnam, they may not be talking spirituality in the way in which we all talk spirituality, but they are leading a 100% spiritual life. 100%. So here the question before us is, me, I have been chanting Ramnam. Still I feel I am not becoming aware that he is making me to chant. I still feel I am chanting. How to get over this? Because I believe in the words of my master that he is there every time. This particular one, no? Through the power of the name. That means we are people who are used to chanting, no? Through the power of the name, let the bliss of the eternal Atman, which is self-existent and independent, reveal itself within you, so that you can experience it at all times and in all states. Through the power of the name, chanting. So I must devise some method. This should be clear. No, this is the goal. This is the goal. Instead of chanting and simply saying I have enjoyed, like we have been doing it for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Have we started feeling that it is he who is making me to chant? We are asking ourselves. Have we started feeling that he has been with me, he is with me? Whether I get, right from getting up in the morning, whatever activities I do, whether I take my brush, whether I brush my teeth, whether I go to the toilet, whether I have my bath, whether I dress myself, whether I eat, whether I cook, whether I clean, when I go to the office, when I do this job, he is with me, he has been with me. I and he exists, okay. If that is there, finished. That is what we are aiming. But in spite of all these things, we don't feel, though we say we enjoy Ramnam. Probably that is the first stage, primary stage. So this is the graduate stage. Through the power of the name, let the bliss of the eternal Atman, which is inside, which is self-existent. It is not depending upon anything. And independent, reveal itself within you, so that you can experience it at all times and in all states. Find joy in the non-repetition of the name, as much as in the repetition of it. Because otherwise, how I'm repeating, I'm joining Ramnam, but doing how am I doing? It is not like that. He is there with me during the chanting and the non-chanting. When that revelation comes to me, I will be able to give it. Find joy in the non-repetition of the name as much as in the repetition of it, by realizing that all the activities of your life are tuned together by the divine Shakti to produce the sweet music of the name. Listen to this music in all sounds and movements in yourself and the world. The sound that we are trying to hear while chanting, that means the power behind the sound. Like, even when you are looking at me, in any activities, those who are prompted from within to concentrate upon it, kindly go to glimpses of divine vision of Papa. And you can put find, ladder divine ladder. That is how divine name is a ladder by the help of which you ascend to the supreme zenith of the above described state. He was explaining about that state, that supreme state. When through the repetition of the name, the mind gets dissolved in the ocean of stillness and peace within you, repetition of the name is no longer necessary. Of course, off and on, you can drink the nectar of the charming music of the name, but do not depend entirely upon this music for your peace and bliss. This has happened to us. Somehow we got it. True. Initially it is true. Instead of something else, we try to refine it through Ramnam. Now the second stage is who is making me to chant? How do I chant? How is it that I feel that I am chanting? This manana should go on simultaneously.
Side by side contemplate on the mix non-chanting time
that is why he said, that is right. But for him, that was all right. Number, we should devise our own method.
Plus simultaneous contemplation.
It is difficult initially. So what we would say is, it may not be possible. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Whether we will be able to bring all these dimensions, we don't know. Rare people can do it. Normally, so what can be done? Before chanting, in between chanting, after chanting.
நம்ம சாண்ட் பண்ணும்போதே அந்த நம்ம அந்த ஒரு இன்வால்வ் ஆகும்போதோ அந்த கான்டெம்ப்ளேஷன் நம்மளுக்கே தெரியாம இருக்கிறதுனால தான் அந்த ஜாய்னஸ் கிடைக்குதோ அப்படின்னு.
Each one, but if you say that the joy in the words are now, when you eat a sweet, you enjoy. After that, when you see a good thing, you enjoy. When you hear a music, you enjoy. When you touch something very smooth, you enjoy. அதே மாதிரி ஜாயான இந்த சாண்டிங்கில் கிடைக்கிறது அவனுன்ற தெரியும். அது அந்த ஜாய் என்ன தெரியுமோ? இட் இஸ் நாட் ஜாய். வந்து போறாங்க. That is objectless happiness அல்ல, object based happiness அது, including a chanting based happiness. That is why he said, do not depend on no joy which is condition dependent can be permanent. That means what we get during chanting, we should be able to keep up. How do I keep up? We have to ask ourselves. Unless and until we try to know that that power is there, that is why this chanting is going on, and the chanting should help me to remember that power. The power is there whether I chant or not.
Swamiji,
right from our young age, we have not been hearing anything about Ramnam, but still the power is there. That's why we are alive. We are alive today. Yeah. So even during the period when we were not chanting Ramnam, the power has been with us. It is not by chanting that we have got the power. Follow? Right?
Swamiji, that means we are conditioning our mind by chanting Ramnam.
Unknowingly, yes. Yes. Unknowingly, it all happens because these were not given to us at our impressionable age. We all remember the moment we get up and fold our bed, right from our young age. Then we take our bath before we go to the school. Then mother will say, Swami Namaskaram to Pongola. Go and have. So then we go to the puja room. Take vibhuti or kumkum or whatever, standard something, because that is applied to him. Take it as prasad. Then we chant or some prayer. Then we go to school. So right from, that was the only method by which it can be conversed. So we developed, a few minutes in a day, we are in touch with you. The rest of the time, we are not in touch with you. And later on, we go to temple. During the temple time, yes, we are in touch with you. During the non-visiting time, we are away from you. We go to the ashram. We see a guru. We are impressed. During that time, We are in touch. When we come back, finished. This has been going on for ages now. No? And one fine morning when Papa says, during the chanting and the non-chanting time, it is difficult. So we have to make extra effort. He was also like us. And then we were wondering, how did he do that? He withdrew from the entire thing. And he was concentrating upon it. Not amidst all those things, he was not doing it. And he tested himself by throwing himself out, by getting out of the comfort zones, whether he was able to keep it up or not. And when he became aware that he has been there, he is with her, he has been there, he is with her, then he came out of it and declined. We know our limitation now. But at the same time, if we are earnest, he will guide us.
Swamiji, in the chanting time, intensity ஜாஸ்தி இருந்தா non-chanting time it will reveal. அப்பா என்ன சொன்னா it will reveal. அதுல effort இல்ல. நம்ம chanting effort இருக்கு, but non-chanting time it automatically reveals. அப்போ அந்த intensity ஜாஸ்தியா நமக்கு வந்து
chanting time if we don't bring this dimension, non-chanting time effortless வராது.
நம்ம chantingல intensity காமிச்சோம்னா it automatically reveals. அதுக்கு effort தேவை.
intensity னா என்ன?
இன்டென்சிட்டினா சுவாமி சொன்னீங்களே சுவாமி மைண்ட் கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணி நம்ம வந்து
அதாவது he has given us clues. While chanting he said, you should know you are chanting the name of one who is within you, who is making you to chant. If we are concentrating on the power which is responsible for the word now to come out, no? The hand to move out, no? Then we suddenly realize it has been with me now throughout. Not during the bhajan time, not during the chanting time, not during the temple visit time, not during the darshan of a saint. Even before the darshan of a saint, he is with us. Even before the darshan of the deity in a temple, he is with us, he has been with us. He is arranging all these things only to keep us reminding, So we are all aspirants. We have to take note of this particular quotation. No joy which is conditioned and dependent can be permanent. Through the power of the name, please, everybody start thinking about it. Through the power of the name, let the bliss of the eternal Atman, which is within them, which is self-existent and independent. That we know because whether we remember him or not, whether we recognize him or not, whether we worship him or not, whether we ignore him or not, whether even we deny him or not, he is not leaving us. It is independent, not dependent upon him. He has been with us.
always there.
He is there.
And even for a person who is not.
So the purpose of chanting Ram Nam is to know this lesson. Other than chanting and non-chanting will be equal. For that he says you make use of the chanting. If we are very clear why we are chanting, to reach a stage where he is there and has the power prompting me to chant, and that the same power is there that is making me to think, talk and do. കരുവിനു കണ്ണുകൾ അഞ്ചും ഉള്ളടക്കി തെരുതര വീണു വണങ്ങിയോതില്ലേനു. How will I become aware of the power that makes me to talk now? No, it's so subtle. No?
At least in the chance of the so closeness of the
in this ambience, ashram ambience, it might help us. And the next line is, of course, practical. Find joy in the non-repetition of the name as much as in the repetition of it. By realizing that all the activities of your life are tuned together by the divine Shakti to produce the sweet music of the name. Listen to this music. in all sounds and movements, in yourself and the world. Verily, all the worlds and beings move and act to the great grand symphony of God's own music. One suggestion is this particular word, this particular para of the divine. Once in 2-3 times in a week, with an ardent prayer, I have intellectually understood. It is rational, logical. Intellect is not resisting. But when I try to implement it, I find not possible. Help me, please. Such a prayer also should be there. And then we keep trying. We have to do this, not this. Doing something at a time. That may give us joy, no doubt. Suppose you go for a music program, you find joy, Not that there is no joy. It gives you some relaxation. Suppose you are tied up in your office and you go for an outing for a couple of days in a place like this, valleys, mountains, where there is an inexplicable joy and relaxation is there. And you go back, you will find the energy. That is why, from late 60s, till such time it was not there. Late 60s, companies introduced LTM, Leave Travel Facility. LTC. Because every year, the employees will be given, I don't know now, previously you can name the, I have to go to Kashmir. The entire ticket, they will give. Because they want the employees to get recharged, refreshed. Even in our estate, they may not have some, so we will give them a lump sum. You want to go anywhere? Okay, we will give them a lump sum. You go somewhere. Relaxation. So that will bring out the efficiency in them. Otherwise, boredom, drudgery, tension, stress, so many things will be there now. But Ramnam chanting should not be like that. Not going to with an LTA facility. Then we are again back coming here, no? It helps you. When Papa went to 2 years, he was trying to travel along with his thought, do Manan and Vidyanam. Okay? And finally, God wanted him to get stamped with this, So pushed him out. And the 3rd day or 4th day or 5th day, somehow he was taken to Tiruvannamalai. After seeing Bhagavan, for 21 days he retired to solitude. You see this now. And that solitude, suppose you and I take solitude, the same mind comes. It runs riot, Ultimately, everybody will be thinking, oh, you have gone on a Mona. Wonderful. But we know our mind is going here and there. So in his case, these 2 years of training had helped him. Up to that, he had not taken anything. That was the first time Ramdas was prompted to go in for solitude. So then we understand, unless we sufficiently prepare our mind with a particular discipline, the mind will not become unruly. Otherwise, even in a secluded place, it will be unruly. Nobody else will know, but we will know. It is a forced, regimented discipline there. So now when we look back, Papa's, That is why he could do that. So while chanting, if I try to bring in all these things, then God will definitely provide me with an opportunity to get it stamped on my. Again, we will read. At least we will read, no? Whether we can take it or not. Divine name is a ladder by the help of which you ascend to the supreme zenith. So the relevance of Ramna. Okay. When through the repetition of the name, the mind gets dissolved in the ocean of stillness and peace within you. That means we keep on churning the curd and the butter is formed. Then churning is not necessary, So while churning, we know what we want is not churning. What we want is butter. Yeah. Don't you think so? While doing the churning, you are not doing for the churning. You want the butter to come. And as soon as the butter is formed, the mattharipadi put round go. Up then, no churning. Now you try to understand. When through the repetition of the name, the mind gets dissolved in the ocean of stillness and peace. That is the butter.
Butter is stillness and peace. Churning into the Ramna.
When through the repetition of the name, the mind gets dissolved in the ocean of stillness and peace within you, repetition of the name is no longer necessary. Of course, off and on you can drink the nectar of the charming music, but do not depend entirely upon this music for your peace and happiness. The moment we, through the chanting, when we become aware of the peace and stillness within us, then simultaneously we also become, it has been with us. Some disturbance was there called thoughts, and when the thoughts are removed, suddenly we find it is there. Again the thoughts may come, but we now know it is there within us. Outwardly, disturbance will be there, thoughts will be there, everything. But now he has made us to realize that it is there, it is there, it is there. Not that you will keep quiet, not that you will become inactive.
The curd already butter was there. Churn பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி பட்டர் இருக்கு. Churn பண்ணும்போது இருந்து அப்புறமும் churn பண்ணி முடிச்ச பிறகு ஏற்கனவே இந்த curd பட்டர் ரிவீல் ஆகும். அத பப்பா அந்த wording ரிவீல் போடுறாரு.
Yeah, that will give us some more clues. Divine name is a ladder by the help of which you ascend to the supreme zenith. When through the repetition of the name, the mind gets dissolved in the ocean of stillness and peace within you, repetition of the name is no longer necessary. Of course, off and on, you can drink the nectar of the charming music of the name, but do not depend entirely upon this music for your peace and bliss, because no joy which is conditioned and dependent can be permanent. Otherwise, our joy will be limited to the time of chanting. The moment it is distant, we get back to square one. And then, through the power of the name, let the bliss of the eternal. This is also another clue he is giving. Butter or none. So butter is the eternal Ratna. Bliss of the eternal Atma. Through the power of the name, let the bliss of the eternal Atma, which is self-existent and independent, reveal itself within you, so that you can experience it at all times and in all states. Find joy in the non-repetition of the name as much as in the repetition of it, by realizing that all activities of your life are tuned together by the divine Shakti to produce the sweet music of the name. That means the sweet music of the name, the sweetness of the music of the name is also made possible by that power. It is not that the name produces. Yeah. Please kindly, everybody can think and bring out your own experience so that it will be beneficial to all of us. Spiritual journey is not something somebody says something and somebody can understand. Each one has to work out, each one has to bring out. And just like Papa has shared, when we scale the height, we can also share. This is what I found. It is there, touching and coming and going, coming and going. Like that, so many experiences will be there. But here, in clear-cut terms, because it has come from his experience. He must have been, even after today afternoon we were sharing, even after coming, even after subjecting himself to the severest discipline, Papa still felt that down-pulling thoughts were coming, and he cried. For a Mahatma like Papa, who has exclusively taken up this for nearly 3 years, 2 years in Mangalore, 1 year is Yatra, and then he is back to the Panchapandava cave, and there he says he still felt the old thoughts were coming and disturbing, and he cried. In spite of so much vairagya, so much, then he heard from within, intuitively he came to know that why are you separating me? Do you think there is anything other than me? So even your so-called negative thoughts, anything that you name it as bad, anything name it as not good, it is also coming from me only. All that you have to do is you should know that it is coming from me. At that moment, if I remember right, the word is, its face gets changed. The moment we bring God into picture, suppose I develop a thought, a craving, suddenly I feel, why I am chanting Ram Nam, why this coming? Then immediately God says, hey, you should remember me, that I am the giver. Oh, immediately. So he says, you cannot destroy it, you should not destroy a thought, you cannot, but you can transform the thought, same thought. But that means even during the so-called negative or something, whatever we call it, he is there, he has been there, he is there, he has been there. This is something on which you have to keep on praying, doing manana, with the help of Nama. It is not to belittle the importance of the name. Name is the only hope. Through the power of the name, we make it bold, through the power of the name, let the bliss of the eternal Atman, which is self-existent and independent, reveal itself within you. So the Nama should enable me to feel that he is with me, he has been with me. Otherwise, Nama is going on, this is kept separately. And I unknowingly, I limit it to certain place, certain time, certain occasion.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Yes.
Swamiji, in Papa's case, attaining God realization in 3 years, can we say his prarabdha karma, he was already purified enough to attain God realization in such a short time?
No, we may have our own concept about God realization and everything, but we should know that he himself has expressed it, no? He has expressed it. That 1920 to 1922, intense. And then God wanted him to feel not only in a particular place or during the chanting time. He wanted him to expose. So he made him to go out. Depending upon nothing except God. And after that he comes back. He has been able to maintain the same. Come back. Sit in the Panchapandava cave. And then the mind is not still ready to go along with it. So that is what has come out in the form of outpourings. And after the outpourings, he has mentioned somewhere that one day suddenly he thought the old thoughts were coming. So he became upset. In spite of so much of vairagya, so much of practice, so much of chanting, so much of remembrance, why is this happening to me? And he cried. And it went. After 3 days, again the fellow was up. This is what he has said. And then again when he intensely cried, intuitively he heard, why are you separating me? It's a beautiful answer. When we say he is all-pervading, unknowingly we are limiting him to a particular realm. So we still feel there is a realm where he is not. Whereas he is all-pervading. That point when it came, so how am I to take it practically? Then immediately say, oh, this is also done by him. He made me to lose my temper. He made me to cry. He made me to lose this money. He made me to, whatever the minus is, suppose we bring, he made me, then we will know there must be a purpose behind it.
Yes, sir.
I am doing it. My intellect will say, you are down, you have done something wrong, you should have planned like this, you should have done like that, all those things, guilty feeling, all those things. The moment we bring him into the picture, we also simultaneously accept that there must be a purpose behind it. Slowly we will find we will have to get over.
Right. Our desire and our earnestness is not there that much. Half-heartedly we do that, and we want the full result, so it doesn't happen like
so
that.
In today's Satsang, what he is trying to bring it is, don't compartmentalize spirituality to a particular place, a particular discipline, a particular time. Spirituality is there the more, whether you know it or not, whether you label it or not. No? He is with us, he has been with us. I think suppose we keep on hammering this to some extent, we may be able to move. He is with us, he is with us, he has been with us, he is with us, he has been with us. It should not become again a ritual.
Constant.
Ritual. That's what we have found in our Ramnam chanting. At that particular time, enthusiastically we do that. And then what happens? If it is not supplemented by, complemented by, supported by, coupled with this manana, that I am doing this only to make me aware of the power which makes me to chant. It has been with me throughout. I am chanting the name with a power. No? If the power is not there, I will not be able to chant. So I am chanting the name more that the power is with me not only during my chanting time, but also during the non-chanting time.
Non-chanting. It's very true.
That is the point he has been emphasizing. Kindly do that. Those of you who have got the text, the glimpse of the divine vision, if you put control of divine ladder, this particular para will come. Read. Do manan. Probably he will show us some way. And those who don't have the text, they can send an email, we will immediately send it. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram.